This is a story you will want to hear. How a small Canadian snowboard company became the e-commerce platform for the world. Do you have a friend that started making big money doing dropshipping or e-commerce? Or have you seen that guy on YouTube talk about how to make $1 million selling items online? Chances are they're using Shopify for their website. But if you haven't heard of it, Shopify is a lot bigger than your random YouTuber's e-commerce platform. Huge companies like Sephora, Red Bull, and Tesla use Shopify for their websites. In fact, Shopify currently supports nearly 5 million stores online. But how did this company go from a small snowboard site to a $100 billion company setting the global standard for e-commerce? Let's find out. This is the story of Shopify. The story of Shopify starts with a high school dropout named Tobi Lutke. Tobi was not the typical high school dropout though. He was an extremely inquisitive child who grew up in Germany and had started building and programming computers since he was 11 years old. By the time he was 17, he decided he did not want to go to college and instead started working at the German tech giant Siemens. Even at a young age, Tobi's programming skills stood out among his peers, but the projects he was working on did not fulfill his passion for programming. He was working on boring accounting software using Java, which was not the cutting-edge technology he'd imagined. In 2002, Tobi left Germany and moved to Ottawa, Canada, where he was working for a tech startup, but this startup eventually went bankrupt in 2004. This is where the story gets interesting. Tobi had been doing a lot of snowboarding during his time in Ottawa, and now, without a job, Tobi and his friend Scott Lake decided to set up a shop to sell snowboards online.
When I came to Canada, I picked up the hobby of snowboarding, and eventually me and a few friends decided, hey, wouldn't it be cool to start an online business selling snowboards? And that idea just stuck with us. So we decided to do it, and we ended up calling it Snowdevil.
They started the company with very humble means, both putting up around 20,000 Canadian dollars. The agreement was Scott would handle more of the physical aspects with the inventory and vendors, and Tobi would start to build the tech side. Initially, Tobi thought he could have the online shop set up in about a week, but as he looked for software to help build Snowdevil, he realized there was no good options. He eventually came across a new open source web project called Ruby on Rails. It was a small community of programmers at the time, but Tobi saw their potential and started to collaborate on the project. As they built out the framework, Tobi leveraged the code to build his new online snowboard shop, Snowdevil.
But what I was doing was building a new business online, which is, I knew nothing about retail. I had no money, I had no time, I needed help for everything. After this realization of building the snowboard store, we realized no one has actually built software to help people build online first businesses. And then Shopify is the software I hoped I would have found in 2004, because I realized, based on this realization, I can use the code I wrote for Snowdevil and make Shopify out of it.
As Snowdevil started selling snowboards, a couple people started asking Tobi to use his software to build their own e-com sites. And as word got out, more and more people asked him to license Snowdevil for their own stores. This is when Tobi realized the opportunity in front of him, and he called his friend Daniel Wynand to help him transform Snowdevil's framework to the e-commerce platform it is today. Though this transformation did not happen overnight. Here's Tobi.
In Shopify's beginning, it was very hard for us to get any kind of investment. It was mostly run on fumes on personal savings by my family and friends. Even in situations where we had weeks of money left in the bank, I insisted on the people who worked here to make plans and think about products that we needed a year later.
And that was key. Tobi did not push Shopify to sell out for short-term gains. He saw the big picture, that 99% of people who want to sell online do not have the ability to code. His focus was on becoming the long-term solution to this problem. Tobi, Daniel, and Scott wanted to simplify the process for online sellers to get their products to shoppers. And so they combined the words, simplify and shopping, and founded a new company under the name Shopify in 2006. Tobi and the team built out a platform that was completely new to the market. It allowed merchants to quickly set up a website with unique templates, customize them to their businesses, track orders, manage inventory, and accept payments, all without writing a single line of code. The team kept their focus on the customer. How could they make the process more streamlined while allowing their customers to differentiate themselves and their businesses? Customers came flooding in.
We have more than 600,000 stores, and really the objective of the company is to level the playing field and make it really easy for anyone with a product or a great idea to build a wonderful online store. And some of those online stores that started at their mom's kitchen table have been able to grow to do 100 or 200 or even $1 billion on our platform.
Small businesses became big businesses with Shopify, but Shopify had a problem. Initially, they monetized their business by taking 3% of revenue generated through their platform. And this wasn't an issue for small businesses, but this could really add up for companies with billions in revenue. So Shopify changed their model. Instead of taking 3% of sales, Shopify would take a flat rate from merchants. And this drove even more sellers to the platform. Next, Tobi wanted to grow Shopify's platform for web designers. He created a program which incentivized web designers to join their movement through allowing them to create web templates on Shopify, and in turn, allowing them to share in the profits if their templates were used. This created an ecosystem for all sides of the transaction within Shopify. Small businesses could create a professional website which allowed them to sell their products, manage inventory, and receive payments, while web designers could create beautiful templates for businesses to use and be well compensated for it. And shoppers would be able to buy products they otherwise may not have access to without Shopify. It was a beautiful harmony. Now it was time to scale. Yes, Shopify was growing quickly, but they needed the means to truly go worldwide. In 2015, Shopify went public on the New York Stock Exchange for $17 per share at a market cap of $1.27 billion. Shopify closed that day up 60% at a price of $28 per share. The market was starting to recognize the true potential of this new public e-commerce platform. Later that year, Amazon announced that it would be closing its Amazon web store for merchants and selected Shopify as its preferred migration partner. This was a pivotal moment in Shopify's history as it cleared the path to its market share dominance. Shopify's valuation soared. Over the years, Shopify continued its customer-focused innovation, from creating Shopify Capital, a program to help its customers who need cash get their business off the ground, to creating a point-of-sale tappable card reader for its brick-and-mortar customers, to developing mobile applications for their customers to track their business's performance on the go. Shopify continues to support its customers in the background.
The decision is always like, can we make it easier for other people to look amazing? That's like, it's not our job to be the front. This is the quip of my investors, who are almost all Americans, was always like, only Canadians can build this company because you're trying to be nowhere. You're doing exactly the opposite, make other people look good.
And this is truly the value proposition for Shopify. They make your business look good. The next major milestone for Shopify was in 2020. Tobi had been experimenting with remote work for his entire workforce, and the testing paid off. Not only was Shopify ready for the pervasive lockdowns and mandated work-from-home environment, but it pushed nearly all global shoppers online. In Q3 2020, Shopify grew its revenue nearly 100% year over year. With Shopify's enormous growth, Wall Street started to frame Shopify and Amazon as fierce rivals, but Tobi looked at it in a different way.
Amazon is a rival, and rivals are there to inspire you to be better. If you treat any one of your competitors in a different way, I think you're causing a category mistake. Maybe in the more physical world, absolutely, there's where it's really a clear finite pie. Maybe you need to bring a different mindset, but if you're anywhere close to software, it's positive sum and everything's growing. So I think that's, I would say about Amazon.
And Tobi took it even a step further. On August 30th, 2023, Amazon and Shopify announced a partnership that would allow Shopify sellers to enable Buy with Prime within their Shopify stores. Amazon said, quote, "Millions of Prime members will be able to enjoy the trusted shopping experience of Prime, including fast, free delivery, and easy returns while shopping directly from participating Shopify merchants."
on some of today's top trending tickers, Shopify stock rising amid its partnership with Amazon that will bring Prime shipping and delivery to Shopify merchants. Shopify can now offer Prime benefits to their customers for the first time while also staying on the Shopify ecosystem. And Akiko, this is a really interesting partnership considering these two are competitors, but it does seem like this could be a win-win. You have Amazon, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, online retailers, really strong brand recognition, that trust with consumers, but merchants have become frustrated lately when it comes to some of the stricter terms that Amazon has, and now that they're able to partner with a company like Shopify, which does have that strong relationship with merchants, they'll be able to capture some of that gross merchandise volume and increase the value of that Prime membership, since merchants can then expand to different sites, and in turn Shopify can increase that merchant usage on their own platform. So again, just feels like a win-win here.
It's definitely a win-win. From Amazon and Shopify investors to their customers and consumers, these world-changing companies are creating value for everyone. And I think that's the real takeaway here. Shopify and Amazon are not focused on each other as competitors. They're focused on the most important thing for their businesses, and that's their customer. Shopify's story does not end here, but I'll leave you with one last message from Tobi before I go. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Creating these videos is a lot of hard work, and your engagement makes it all worth it. With that, here's Tobi.
So right now it's about $1.9 trillion of online commerce, going towards $4 trillion in the next couple of years. Probably the single largest economic opportunity of our time.